I was a marketer, like by nature, like natural skill set. I was a marketing major at LaSalle University. I had
You
marketing jobs.
worked for Budweiser.
I used to sling free Budweiser and Coors Light gear.
Paraphernalia.
True fact, my junior and senior year of college, I was a promotional rep. Basically meant I went out and drank all night and gave people free t-shirts. That was my job. Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, they're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim,
Yes, Sean.
who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value three things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. They want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value because they do it so well is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. They'll take good care of you. Now we're going to jump in to part two. So when I was at Pulte, I wasn't really in the office all the time. I was either out on the road.
I meant Brown McKinney year one.
Yeah. So what I was saying, I was already kind of working out of the house a little bit with Pulte.
Yeah.
So that when I went to real estate, like we had an office in Brewery Town. It was like a rehab row home that Rudy had actually rehabbed himself. And he put his office and he was living there. So he's like living there. The office is there. They have like a reception desk. He put in like a spiral staircase because it was like, it was a real narrow house in Brewery Town. It was like half a block away from the prep.
Talk about
Shout out to St. Joe's Prep.
No, never.
Right. LaSalle.
Talk about living the real estate life.
Yeah. So
I have a building. I live here. My office is downstairs.
So Rudy was like, I thought that was cool. I'm like, he bought this building for nothing.
Yeah.
He did all the work himself.
Yeah.
So he was handy. His dad was a contractor, and part of the reason why he got into rehabbing homes was really because of his upbringing.
Yeah.
And he was from California. He went to Penn, smart dude.
Yeah.
Played football.
Oh.
So he knew how to work with his hands. So he bought this one. I can't remember how much he bought it for. Put in the bare minimum, turned it into like his home and an office. And, I'd go in there 1 or 2 days a week. And so this is back then. So this is like 2010. I was still way more productive working out of my house.
Yeah.
That's just the way I've always been. Like some people are like, I don't know how you do that. It's like, That's just how I'm wired. Like there's no right or wrong way. So at home, at the time, we're living in Green Tree Run. And I think at this time, no, actually we were married. So I had my own room. I had a dedicated room in our 3-bedroom house, me and Maria, and had an IKEA desk. I had a piece of crap chair, and I had 2 screens. So I had my laptop, and I had the bigger one next to it, and I was able to really I was a marketer, like by nature, like natural skill set. I was a marketing major at LaSalle University. I had marketing jobs.
Worked for Budweiser.
I used to sling free Budweiser and Coors Light gear.
Paraphernalia.
True fact, my junior and senior year of college, I was a promotional rep. which basically meant I went out and drank all night and gave people free T-shirts. That was my job.
Did you ever pay for anyone's drinks?
No, because they gave me a budget every week and said, go out and spend this because, and the funny part was they never said who to spend it on. They just said, go and spend it.
Did you ever go to Shenanigans?
I've been to
Spend
Shenanigans.
money?
I've been to Shenanigans. Invited maybe 15 people I knew and say, why don't you meet me at Shenanigans because we're going to blast through this thing. So I had a marketing background.
Working at home.
And real early on, I was kind of like you. I was a little bit of a researcher, so I would read the news every day. I would read like Philadelphia Inquirer, Philly.com at the time, Daily News, Channel 6, whatever, wherever
Business
I could
Journal.
get. Kind of Business Journal at the time.
Maybe
a little bit back then. That might have been year 2, year 3. Maybe graduate up to that. So I was reading the news, and I was also reading a lot of blogs, mostly just about Philly. So there were just blogs where people were just like getting attention about like giving Philly props or like, hey, I'm a good writer and photographer. Here's my blog. And maybe that gave them work for their photography business.
Yeah.
So their marketing, whatever they were doing.
So they were utilizing the blog to almost promote their business or promote their service.
Yeah, or their passions. And it was like both.
Yeah.
They're passionate about it and some kind of living they're making from it.
Right.
So I was reading all these blogs, and then I said, I like reading those. And then one day I went in to Rudy Brown at Brown McKinney. So I'm working out of the house most of the time. When I went in, I'm like putting some thoughts together. I'm getting all my real estate profiles together. Like at the time it was Zillow.com, Realtor.com, ActiveRain.com, which still exists. And I would get my profiles online, and Trulia and ActiveRain had blog features.
Craigslist should buy ActiveRain.
They should. And they could probably get it for cheap. So
blogs within their sites.
Right. It's a blog within one of the best websites ever. And I went into Rudy and I said, all right, here's my question. I want to get in front of people that I don't know, and I'm brand new. I'm already getting in front of the people I do know. I'm like networking. I'm like telling people I'm a realtor. I got a few opportunities cooking.
Yep.
How do I get in front of people I don't know? And he was like, can you write? And I said, I can write. He was like, start a blog. And I was like, you know what? I read blogs.
It's a very California
way
of thinking.
It was very forward thinking. And I think he might have had a little bit of one. I can't even remember. And I just said, yeah. I'm like, Trulia's got a blogging feature. So does ActiveRain. He's like, and they're both free. I'm like, I'll just start writing. So I just started writing. What the hell am I going to write about? Okay. I read the news every day. That was an interesting article. I'll post the link to that article and I'll say why I found it was interesting. So this was the start of me getting into content marketing. This is 2010. And I just never stopped. Here I am in 2025 and I still blog. But this is a form of content marketing.
Do you know that we have a blog for the podcast?
Yes, it does have a blog feature, doesn't it? Didn't I yank it in the beginning when we were making it? I was like, we don't need this thing. And you're like, no, just leave it on there.
We'll pull it up.
Yeah, we'll pull it
They
up.
don't, no.
We'll send the studio a screenshot so they have it.
I do the blogging.
Oh, gosh. You're probably just going to be ChatGPT all day. Pull it up?
Yeah. Live.
You actually have a blog here?
Yeah. We're doing this live on camera, so there's going to be a little bit of silence as Tim is wowed by my blogging skills.
How long have you been doing this?
A while.
Hey, folks, first blog post. Wait, hold on a second. Load more.
Keep going.
Yo, you're a psycho, bro. February of 2025?
Yo.
Yeah. I didn't even know this. My own website. Oh. Phenomenal.
So go to the most recent one. So basically,
all right, wow.
Video, the link.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Are these all links?
Link it up, then it'll take you right to the part of the article. Boom. I know that didn't work.
Anyway, dude, this is sick.
Sick.
You've been doing that for like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
All right.
I was waiting for the right opportunity.
Well, thanks
to
for
tell you.
telling me.
I knew it would come up.
Well, here it
I
is.
knew we would talk about blogging at some point.
Here it is, Mooney the blogger. Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, so that's kind of how I got going. But here's a question I have for you.
Can we pull up? We're gonna pull up. We'll have Dill link it up. I want to see if your like Trulia articles are still out there.
Well, Trulia got bought by Zillow. I think they dissolved all that. But you can go to ActiveRain and you can go all the way back.
Oh yeah,
All the way back.
Dill. We're gonna link
the way
it up.
back.
Yes.
And I think on my website, timgarrityteam.com, I think I have my full blog history on there. So I think you can go to my website and see it too.
Awesome.
And there's probably, if I had to guess, like almost 1,000 blog posts.
But it's a great idea. How do I get in front of people that don't know me, right?
Yeah. And today I think that's, to your point, I think that's video. I think it's social media. Those are outlets now that you can lead gen, get in front of people you don't know, teach them a little bit more about who you are, what you know, what you like, what you're good at, who you're looking to work with, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's just it's the same concept.
Yeah.
And it's different. And I remember I was on the Stay Paid podcast. What's up, Luke Acree, Josh Dyke? And on the podcast, they were asking me about how I got started. And I'm talking about blogging. And then I remember Luke had said, he's like, man, you were doing content marketing before most people were doing content marketing.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that was the moment I was like, I was. I never really looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Until he said that. And
it wasn't a thing. And then at some point it got formalized to be, hey, this is content marketing. You're like, well,
this is what this is.
Right.
Like what's up, Ryan Hanley?
Yeah.
He wrote the book.
Yep.
He had the early podcast. He was doing all that stuff.
Yeah. Way early.
So he was into it. All right. So here's the next thing I want to dive into. Was when we both started our first year of entrepreneurship. So year one, we both bootstrapped.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go join a team and say, you pay for some of my marketing, you pay for my training or the website or whatever. And you didn't go bring a partner in. You didn't have any, rich relatives throwing money at you and say, go ahead and start a business and I'll help you do it. So talk about that. Like when you were bootstrapping year one, like what was that feeling like?
A lot of people call it or refer to it as working off of a shoestring budget. And mine was dental floss. Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, Craigslist,
You've said that before, yep.
Office, this desk. Everything was like, I did save money. I had some money to,
you had a nest egg.
A runway, to get me through like 1 year.
Yep.
If I didn't make anything. So there was some money saved, but if I was going to do it, every decision had to be like, do I need a new desk? No, I don't need a new desk, right? Do I need this? Do I need that? Like what's going to make me money? Those decisions that I was willing to spend money, but it had to be spending money to make money.
Yep.
Like that's where my dollars really, you had to be.
You didn't want the big office to impress people.
Yep.
Because you're like, if I get the big office and impress people and I don't run any business, I'm going to spend a lot of money on I don't know if I'm going to make money with a big office.
Yep. And it didn't have a return in my eyes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I still agree with that today.
Yeah. So trying to operate for me, as hard as it was kind of easy to do it that way because your decisions were, is this going to make me money? Okay, I'll spend money, or this won't add any revenue to my agency, so then I won't.
Right. Yeah.
So
you were very logical about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that it kind of made it easy to kind of maneuver through year one with me.
So when you were starting, what were the kinds of things you had to spend money on aside from like your office and your half desk and your bag lunch every day?
There was some marketing things. I guess that's the only thing that I really would.
What kind of marketing were you doing? Like what were you paying?
There was business groups that I was involved in. So membership, stuff like that.
Like a BNI, like a networking group.
Yep.
And WPN.
Yep. Stuff like that. I was really big on not knowing. So I actually did, and it was kind of unique to me, I think. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that did it, but there's a certification, a certified insurance counselor, which costs a good amount of money. You had to take the courses, a couple grand, you know, and all of that.
A couple grand back then.
Yeah. Just because there was 5 sections, and you had to do it all. So I did it, and I completed it in like the first, I think, 2 years. So I'm running my office, trying to do these courses and all that. So I was willing to spend money to get educated.
Yeah, you can spend money on the street, you know, marketing platforms and things like that, but you can also spend money in the classroom.
Yep.
When you're in insurance, when you're in real estate.
Yep.
Get a certification, educate yourself.
Yep.
And get some letters after your name, some credibility.
I wanted to level up. I wanted to you know, if I'm going to run this agency, I want to have the knowledge and know-how how these other guys have been around the block for, you know, decades.
Was that class valuable to you?
Yeah, immensely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there was things like that where, you know, I was investing in myself to do the education and get that done, which again, year one, it's like, now I'm just going out of my own pocket.
Yeah, you're just spending money and not making any money.
Yep. So those types of things. But beyond that, there wasn't really much. You know, I did some postcards with Matt Ellis.
Yeah. Shout out to Matty Ellis, NWPN.
So I was doing a couple things like that where it was advertising, but advertising money spent, thinking there's going to be a return there, and different things like that. But beyond that, or like maybe some lunches and some dinners, just to network and meet with people.
So you were spending money on like the classroom, networking, and, you know, any kind of like, you know, print material, or if you needed anything.
I think I did do a website.
Website, that costs money.
Early on.
Licensure costs money. Insurance for your business costs money. So those are expenses.
Yeah. So that was kind of the bulk of what, you know, year one expenditures would be.
Here's a question. Did you sell yourself insurance for your business year one?
Did I sell my? We had to.
Yeah. So you got insurance through yourself.
Yeah, it was professional liability. So
nice.
Carriers required it. So
you made a commission on insurance?
I did. Yeah. Actually, the year one was funny. I went with a wholesale broker, and they didn't give me the commission on it for some reason.
And then you were too nice, and you're just like, whatever.
No, it was like an agreement. It was like, you're not getting paid on your policy. I'm like, oh, okay.
And you just went with it.
Oh, I needed it. I had to. Yeah. It was kind of like nobody else already.
Could have socked them.
Yeah, I could have. So yes, did write the policy, didn't get a commission year one. But that also goes in like dovetails for like year one pains, right?
Yes.
Like you write a policy.
This is all year one.
Like you're willing to accept so much more year one.
Right.
Because it's like, all right.
You know it's going to, like, if you're realistic about starting a business, whether it's real estate, insurance, pizza shop, I love saying pizza shop.
Taylor.
It is spending money to realize the opportunity. You have to spend money just to get in.
Yeah.
Because there are expenses when you start a business. Like I said, licensure, insurance, marketing, networking, print, rent, half a desk,
phone,
an apple in your brown bag, you know,
MacBook
medicine for your carpal tunnel, like all that stuff. And it's like when I think about year one for me, as lean as I was running it, pretty much out of my house, you know, I was spending money on like, I did some cold lead generation year one. So I would spend money on like zip codes for like realtor.com, for Zillow.com. I was paying for like some ads on certain things. I did some, you know, community advertising. I think I did like a billboard in a little league field. You know, it was, you know, and again, I got to be a realtor. That costs money. I need the MLS. That costs money. So I was spending money on things. Year one, I was in networking groups. I did a paid networking group for a little bit. So I was spending all that money, but I think the way I looked at it, you know, we didn't have any money. Maria was making an average wage for her age. You know, she had only moved to Philadelphia a few years before that. And one of the things I sold her on up front is I said, look, because I still do the finances in the house. I said, if we're in trouble after 18 months, I will 100% go get a corporate job again.
Yep.
but at least I would have tried.
Yeah.
If after 18 months, I feel like the rest is an upward trajectory, and I'm going to be honest with you as well as myself, I'm never going to have another job for the rest of my life. I'm just going to do this. And she's like, okay, go for it. So that gave me a lot of confidence. And, you know, like you had made no money in year one because insurance is a residual business.
Yep.
It's like you need to write all this business to kind of get paid next year,
Yep.
you know, for the most part. And then you got to do it again and the next year and do it again the next year. And then the snowball just gets bigger. And then the bigger the snowball, the better your annual income is. And for me, all I did was run around. Like, anyone that needed help with something. You need to open a house, like you need help with that tenant, like who needs something in the office? Anyone need anything? Like,
yeah.
I barely even went in the office. So I just ran around with a bunch of stuff. I started throwing ads on Craigslist. Yo, I'm an agent in Philly. This is a little bit about me. Here's my background. If you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
Flyers in Green Tree Run, tear off tabs. Hey, if you need a plumber, you need an electrician, a roofer, a mortgage person, insurance person, give me a call and I will connect you.
Yeah.
So I was doing that connecting like back then. And my first year in real estate, I did 20 transactions, which sounds like a lot, but 19 were rentals, and I did one sale my entire first year.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point of how much time do I think I was spending on real estate per week in year one? Me personally, I feel like I was probably working about 80 hours a week. Which you think about that and you're like, whoa, like that's, and some people look at that, they're like, that's nothing. So if you do the math on that, that's pretty much like what, 6 12-hour days and then a couple hours here and a couple hours there. And it was true. Like, I don't know, maybe wake up at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I would stop working at 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then I do it on Saturday. And then I do some work on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, that was my life in year one. And I was just a solo agent. I had no team. I didn't have brokerage. I was just trying to, well, how do I do this? Like, how do I figure it out? If you had to guess year one, Mooney Insurance Brokers, how many hours do you think on average you were working a week? I mean, 80 is probably a little high. It might have been 75, but.
You know, right there. The same.
Yeah.
You know.
Working weekends.
Oh, yeah.
Katie's probably like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're like, lay off. Let me go to my half desk.
It was
I want my PB&J now. I'm hungry, honey.
It's an obsession, right? Like
it pretty much is.
There's no like you wake up and your first thought is like your business. You go to sleep with 5 thoughts about your business.
Yep.
It's an eat, sleep, drink mindset, especially in that year one. Like year one, it totally consumes you.
Yep. It's all you think about.
It's all you think about.
All day, all night. Did you have any kids when you started? Remind me, was Molly born yet?
I left my,
Gotta hear this.
So the timing was, I was like, I'm done. And that was September.
Went home and celebrated?
September. And she was born in June.
Wow.
So the first year was...
When you said you were done, were you able to open Mooney Insurance Brokers right away?
No.
Or did it take you some time?
No, it was left in September 15th.
When was the first day of Mooney Insurance?
January 1st.
Okay, it took you a couple months.
Yeah.
Just like open your doors legally.
Yeah. But it's a complete obsession that is inescapable. It just totally overtakes your life.
Yep.
It becomes a third partner in the equation of marriage, right? Because you're trying to...
It's like a kid.
Yeah. You're trying to negotiate time with your wife, time with the work and social life and work life. And there's a complete imbalance, you know, from week to week of, oh my God, like maybe I did work 90 hours this week or maybe, you know.
Right.
So, from a time standpoint, it was not good. It's not a healthy living for sure.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to do what the demands are of the business, especially in year one, to just try to get that plane off the ground.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just kind of what it takes. Like, no matter what you're doing, whatever business you're looking to start and grow, you have to be obsessed with it in order to get it. Think about it like a runway. I know we've talked about this before. You have to give the plane enough runway to get your speed up so it can take off. If the runway's too short, it's just never going to take off. And it's the same thing in business. You have to set your own expectations and your family and friends' expectations that this is what I'm doing right now. And you're just going to have to let me do it. And I'll try not to let it completely overtake my life, but it is kind of going to overtake it for a period of time if you're serious. Like, I think people try things and they have a great idea and they have a vision for what it is. I'm going to sell pizzas. Okay. I need a sign. There's a pizza shop right there. It's for rent. I'll just, how much? 1,500? Oh, that's a good deal. I've always wanted to make pizza. And then you get in and you start mixing the dough. You're like, I don't have any more money. If I don't start selling X amount of pizzas per week, I have to get out of this business. So I think it's like, one, you and I both had significant others. And we both had nest eggs from our previous jobs to even give ourselves runway. On top of that, we had the reality, the personal expectation of I have to like eat, sleep, and breathe what I'm doing right now if I want to turn it into a career. Because that's why so many people fail out of your industry and mine, is because they just think if someone else did it, they can do it. They didn't really put enough thought into it. They didn't really understand the financials or the timelines, the runway. They didn't understand that. And therefore, their plane never took off. They just couldn't, they didn't give themselves enough time.
And it's even worse for me because it's a volume game.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
So it's not like, next year you could sell 10 homes and be like, all right, pretty good year.
Yep.
Like for me, you have to sell like 250 policies.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to be doing like almost one a day.
Yeah. And the commissions are so small. And so the point that I'm trying to make is it's so rare because the sacrifice is so much. Like, unless you have the mindset where you're like, this is going to take 3 years.
Yep.
You have to eat shit for 3 years.
Yep.
Put in all this time, get rewarded with nothing.
Yep.
And then at that third year, you can take a turn.
Right.
And to the normal person, they're like, I'm not working 80 hours to make nothing or lose money. It's incompatible with the framework of a mindset of somebody else.
Logical.
It's not.
It's a belief. It's a belief in yourself.
Yeah.
In the system, like the entrepreneurial, like the capitalist system, let's call it.
Yeah.
That if I work this hard and I do these things right and I treat people right, eventually there'll be more business after that. So I just got to go with it.
And it's the compound effect, really.
Yeah, it's
of business, right? So this year I write 100. Next year I'm going to write another 100, but I'm also going to get some referrals from that 100. So I'm going to take a little bit of juice from that and then apply that over here. So then it becomes that compound into years 3, 4, and 5.
It's funny. Ever since we started Bricks and Risk, I've had a few people, close people, family and friends, say, you should teach a class on podcasts. And I find that interesting because, like, when you and I started this show, it was no different. You getting into insurance and me getting into real estate. We're like, is anyone going to listen? Is anyone going to watch? Is anyone going to give a shit?
Yeah.
And thanks to our friends at Yunk Junk and giving us the studio and the assistance with the mics, the cameras, the editing, the thumbnails,
full production,
all that allowed us to kind of get off the ground, I think, faster than maybe people we listen to these days. People have been doing it for like 5 years or 10 years, and they just did it differently. And I've had some people say, like, you should teach a class on podcasts. And it's one of the most humbling things I hear today, because I'm like, wow, you really think that much of our show that you think I should be going out and teaching people how to do it?
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Well, it's because people don't like you the way they like me. And that's fine. I mean, I don't wear hats like that.
I know, but I would think that the hats would be the draw.
You would be wrong. Anyway, so I think that's really cool. But I also I like going to the lesson of the podcast, because you had your insurance brokerage. At the time, I had my real estate brokerage. I've since pivoted, and it's been one of the greatest things that's really ever happened to me in my life. That when we started this show, we just said, we're just going to go figure it out. Like they got the technical side here, which that part we don't have to figure. We were smart enough as business owners, seasoned people. We kind of cut our learning curve down. We cut down our time. You said 3 years. We cut it down to maybe a year. And we said, we're going to take this year to get good at podcasting. We're going to get good at YouTube. We're going to get good at how do we market it on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook,
building community, having events,
having guests on our show. Thank you, Jared Blackwell. Let's Be Strategic, for making these shirts and giving them to us.
Let's be, letter B, strategic.
Correct. And it's a year and a half in, and this is what's happening now.
It's so similar.
Yeah,
right?
It's very similar. That's why I like to make that example.
I didn't know how to run an insurance office prior to. I actually was way off on the way that I thought it would turn out to be. I thought it was over here, and wound up being over here for a variety of reasons. Podcasting is, we had no idea how we would do it. We didn't know. We were calling places.
Yeah,
right?
We talked to other podcast people that we knew, and we said, where do you syndicate? How, what should we be doing? How often should we be doing? We asked all these questions.
I remember calling studios. I was like, oh, I got this place. You were like, I got this place. This guy's going to meet me, and we're going to talk to him. And oh, they could do this or they could do that. So it actually is identical, just from a raw process standpoint of knowing what we wanted, right? And figuring out along the way how to get there.
Yeah, how to get there.
Right? So I knew that I wanted my agency to be here, and then which way.
How do we get there, and how long does it take?
Yep. And learning along the way, and being able to adapt to whatever's in front of you to ensure that that end product is the best possible product that you can provide.
Great conversation. Why don't you shut this one down for us?
Hey, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us for this period of time. Get us on the email, bricksandrisk@gmail.com. We are on all the streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google is no longer. YouTube. We have a YouTube channel called Bricks and Risk. You can find us there.
We're on the LinkedIns.
Subscribe. Leave us a review if you're on Apple or Spotify. We'd love to hear from you. We'll read out some different guest posts here on the show.
We have a bunch of reviews we still haven't read yet.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
We'll get to that.
But thank you for joining us, and have a great day.
That's all we have for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Bricks and Risk. See you next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all BNR episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.